made it. I even talked myself out of doing this a little bit. Told myself I wasn't ready. You're never really perfectly ready. So might as well start now. But I want the first pod to really just be about me. And so you can know who you're following. Some of you already know me. Some of you may think you know me. Some of you may know me really well. Some of you may not. But this, I think, will shed a little more light and clarity on what I intend to do with this podcast. And it's going to be, some of it's going to be deep. Some of it's going to be motivational. Some of it's going to be philosophy. Ones that I live by, ones that I teach, some that I'm still learning, and some that I'm still figuring out. Philosophy, ways of life. This is so much so. Some of it's going to be really deep. Some of it's going to be very powerful. Some of it's just going to be talking shit too. So sometimes I'll have a friend over, a guest over, and we'll drink a couple cocktails, maybe a glass of wine. We're not at all. A cup of coffee, whatever it may be, and we'll just talk, which is something like literally one of my favorite things to do. I love to just have good conversation. So that's also what this is intended to be. It's just good conversation amongst high-minded individuals that have high standards for themselves, that if you're in a place where you're trying to level yourself up, hopefully I or my guests can do that. Their stories can do that. My story can do that. If you're just wanting to put on, which I do all the time on podcasts, and just listen to it as I'm driving, I want I want this to be that for you as well. I want you to learn more about me, not just the superficial side of it that a lot of people see, but the far, far deeper side. So much so, I tried to invite my sister on for my first guest as my podcast, on my podcast, and she said no. My mom's extremely entertaining. My mom was reluctant to do it as well, and I hope this goes through well. Trial and error. But she was reluctant to do it too because my family is very private. I am not so much. I think talking is therapy within itself. And if somebody judges you poorly, whatever, you know. Never has bothered me too much. But yeah, I'm excited to do this. So off the gate, to begin this first initial podcast is to tell you a little bit about me, you know. So who you're going to be listening to often is me as the host, and I live in Miami, Florida. I'm 38 years of age. I'm a personal trainer by trade, but definitely a business guy in brain. You know, everything in my brain is always going in business. I enjoy business so much. Business to me is the toughest sport, the toughest competitive sport out there. I've been an athlete since I can remember, and my sports of choice were always baseball. I love baseball. Boxing is what changed my life. Taekwondo, I was a beast in that sport as well. But my best sport were pound for pound sports, because there's no cheating in a pound for pound sport. If you're 135 and you're fighting another guy that's 135, you can't cheat in that. That is what it is. Loved one-on-one mano-a-mano sports. I loved it, because team sports, most people don't take stuff as serious as I do. You know, so if you got a team sport of, say, basketball, 5, and you got, let's say, the Kobe Bryant mentality or the Michael Jordan mentality right there, and this is his life, this is what he does. And the other 4 guys, it is not their life, and it's not the only thing that they think about. And we lose. Well, I lost too, but I gave my 100% effort. You guys didn't. And now we all lost because of you guys. You know, that's why I've always liked mano-a-mano sports. It's the most honest sport in the world. It's truly mano-a-mano. But business is so complex. It is the hardest sport. In sport, I've only got to do, in true sport, I've only got to think about beating you. That's all I got to do. If you're a man, all men can be beat. Any man can be beat at any given time. But if it's business, you got to think about marketing, advertising, likability, product, you know, timing. There's so much to it. So those are the things I love. I love business, I love sports, I love training. Training is truly, I found this out about 2 months ago. Training for me is the perfect mix between relaxation and focus. I can really relax when I train. I really can, even though I probably don't look it. And I can really focus. I have a book here. I can read maybe a paragraph at a time. It's hard for me to relax and focus on a book. I can relax and focus with good conversation, but with training, it's that one area that's so physically demanding that, I really feel that. So training is my hobby, my passion. It's also my profession. I just basically am lucky enough to teach what I love to other people, and I make money doing it. So I think I heard Shia LaBeouf say that. He was like, find out what you like to do. So going on to maybe a motivational thing here, maybe we'll clip this, but if you're having a hard time, which I get it, I've been there so many times in my life, if you're having a hard time finding out what you want to do, Shia LaBeouf said this, and I couldn't be more accurate, I think. Find out what you like to do, that you naturally have an aptitude to want to learn about, that you genuinely want to learn about it, that you have some natural inclination into being pretty good at it, and then see how you can share that with people. See how you can share that ideally with the masses, and I want to take that a step further. To make sure you don't have people taking too much of your energy, share that with people that are willing to pay you really well for it. For a long time, I shared training with people, and it's my fault, but for a very small amount, very small amount, because I just didn't think I was really worth it, and yeah, so I have way more qualifications than most human beings through ACT. We're going to go to another part of this real quick. This is the best thing about this, is execution and education are not synonymous. I know a lot of people are way more educated than me on anatomy, through being a personal trainer. They're just more educated. They got they went to school for physiology, kinesiology. They understand the anatomy super well. They'll make me look stupid with that conversation, but they don't execute training the way I do every day for years of my life. They don't execute the one-on-one experience between a trainer and a student and or a client. They don't execute that every day, all day. Now they got both, and they have all the good stuff that goes along with being a really good trainer, being good at conversation, good at motivating, and they also have the education. I know a couple guys like that. They're on the top echelon. But the guys that are they're just really highly educated people, but they don't execute the trainer-client acquisition. I've seen it. It's not impressive. It's actually quite hard to watch. Everything I teach, I have done and I do currently today, and I've done for a long time. So find stuff that you have an aptitude to want to learn, that you're already naturally good at, but that you want to share, and share it for a good high level price. Hit a higher level market. When I was a kid, I just remember forever, as long as I can remember, my mom, who is the serious entrepreneur in our family, she would start businesses all the time, like small little knicky-knack businesses that never really made much money, but it kept her busy. And she would just open up a little convenience store, a little dollar store, or a little Coca-Cola cart at the zoo. My dad opened a pretty good coffee shop in the city that did really well, got a lot of notoriety, but nothing really large, It never appealed to a higher end crowd. To where now if I were to talk to somebody, I'd say, try to appeal to the highest end people. Now I live in Miami, and I think everybody's got that philosophy to try to appeal to the highest end people, but oftentimes they fall short of the service. Like the service in Miami is horrible. You'll go to a really nice place and it's like, this place sucks. Like it doesn't feel like an experience. So if I say you want to appeal to higher end people, you gotta have the skills to back it up. There's execution and there's education. If you can do both, educate and execute well through client and trainer acquisition, money. And you got the education for it, money. And you're good at building programs for specific human beings, dude, let's go. absolutely, you can come work with me, and we can build something. But you know, if you're just an educated person, that's all you want to do is learn. I don't know how you pay the bills, but hey, good on you. Keep going. But if you're a person that wants to make it and you want to make some money at the things that you need to get out there and do it. You just gotta do it. You gotta execute, not just educate, but you gotta execute. Bada bing, bada boom. So that's my enjoyment, right? Training, business. I love family. My mom, my dad are my closest people to me. I have a beautiful wife too. A really cute little dog that takes a lot of energy. Too much. And then I've got really good friends. I've got really good friends too. I've got really good acquaintances that I really enjoy being around as well. I think that's a really healthy part of life, is all those ingredients. You know, have people that you really enjoy being around. You don't need to be around them all the time, but you know, when you are around them, there's a good conversation had. That's number one. Gotta have good conversation. Compatibilities, and that's kind of also what I want to be for you as well. So I want to find common ground with you. I want to find common ground, like, oh man, I connect with that guy in this, and then send me a DM what you like. I'll be happy to make more content of that, because you know, you peel the onion back, I'm a people pleaser. You know, that's why it's taken me a long time to actually shoot my first video. I am without question a people. I'm a service-minded people pleaser, 100%. I'm a service-minded guy. I'm selfish in certain things, because I think you need to be. But I'm also extremely, to the extreme of service-minded. So shoot me a DM, and whatever content that you may think you want more of, I will definitely create it. So that's it for now. This is the intro. There'll be many more to go. I'm gonna try to shoot these every single weekend. Nothing but love, willpower.